Morning, you look at your life, your relationships, your decisions, your emotions, and all you see is a knotted mess. You say it aloud, life is complicated. Marcus Aurelius saw this too. Every want is a loop around the rope. Today's world markets new wants every minute. More money, more status, more attention, more validation. Each want adds a twist. Marcus warned that valuing what's outside your control makes you less free. The more you chase, the more you suffer. Desire itself is not evil, but when your happiness depends on it, your mind becomes tangled. The chase turns into the knot. Follow a man who ran an empire and still managed to keep his mind clear. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why life feels complicated, you'll know the exact practices that make it simple again. Life doesn't snap in two. It tightens, one knot at a time, until you can't feel the rope anymore. Picture a rope in your hands. If you hold it softly, it lies smooth. If you clutch it with fear, it pulls taut. Clutch it with anxiety, and it twists. Grip it with desperation, and the twists become tangles, then knots. This rope is your mind. This rope is your life. Most people don't see it. They spend years pulling the wrong way, convinced the problem is the rope itself, not the way they're holding it. Overthinking pulls. Trying to control everything pulls. Chasing every new desire pulls. Fearing the future pulls. Until one morning you look at your life, your relationships, your decisions, your emotions, and all you see is a knotted mess. You say it aloud, life is complicated. Marcus Aurelius saw this too. He wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life." Put simply, life is simple. It's the mind that complicates things. If your life feels heavy today, it's not because the world tied the rope. It's because you kept pulling. And anything that can be tangled can be untangled. So today, we learn how to loosen the rope. We follow a man who ran an empire and still managed to keep his mind clear. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why life feels complicated, you'll know the exact practices that make it simple again. But first, before knots appear, something deeper forms. Your perception. The window you look through. Most people move through the world with a dusty window. They don't see reality. They see a version of reality filtered through old fear, expectation, habit, and assumption. You wake up tired, not because the day is hard, but because your thoughts arrived early and started cleaning nothing but worrying. You check your phone, and your mind fills with noise, notifications, comparisons, imagined judgments. By the time you step outside, your internal window is coated in dust. A dusty window makes everything look heavier than it is. Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." That is, your inner life paints your outer world. Two people can go through the exact same day and live inside completely different worlds. One sees disaster, the other sees a challenge. One sees chaos, the other sees a lesson. The difference isn't the day, it's the window. Most of what overwhelms you is not out there. It lives inside your head. Worries about what people might think, fears of what could happen, regrets about what already happened, comparisons to people who aren't even thinking about you, expectations you never agreed to, goals you inherited like a heavy coat. None of those are events. They're interpretations, shadows on a pain. And when you try to fix your life without cleaning that pain, you fight battles that don't exist. You tug at the rope while the smudge stays. So start by slowing down. Wipe the glass. See clearly. Only when the window clears can you spot the real knots. Now the rope becomes visible again. Once your lens is less foggy, you can see the three knots that Marcus believed cause most of our suffering. First, the knot of control. You pull this knot when you try to fix outcomes, people, timing, when you demand certainties a life can't promise. Control feels like safety, but it's the fastest way to tighten the rope. You push against the current and the rope bites back. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." In plain terms, you can't arrange the world, but you can arrange your response. Trying to dominate what's outside creates an internal war that steals your peace, drains your energy, and suffocates clarity. So loosen your grip. Accept what you cannot manage. Let the rope soften where it does not belong to you. Second, the knot of desire. Every want is a loop around the rope. Today's world markets new wants every minute. More money, more status, more attention, more validation. Each want adds a twist. Marcus warned that valuing what's outside your control makes you less free. The more you chase, the more you suffer. Desire itself is not evil, but when your happiness depends on it, your mind becomes tangled. The chase turns into the knot. Third, the knot of identity. This is the deepest and most stubborn tangle. The story you insist on being true about who you must be. I must succeed. I must be perfect. I must never show weakness. I must be who others expect. These lines tighten slow, then sudden. One day, the rope feels like a noose because you've wrapped yourself in someone else's script. Marcus said, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." If the story you tell is false, the suffering it produces fades. Identity is useful, but when it hardens into a demand, it becomes a cage. Ask, who would I be if I stopped performing to meet others' expectations? Even asking the question loosens the knot. With the window cleaned and the knots identified, Marcus moves us from problem to practice. He hands us a new metaphor. The garden. Your mind is not a battleground. It's a garden. Every thought is a seed. Every belief, a root. Every habit, a watering ritual. Every fear, a weed. Whether you know it or not, you are growing something every day. The question is, are you choosing what grows? Marcus put it plainly. The mind takes the color of its habitual thoughts, meaning, what you repeat, you become. So, cultivate wisely. Garden Rule 1. Remove the weeds. You can't plant peace on soil packed with old fears. You can't grow confidence where doubt crowds the roots. Pull up comparison, negative self-talk, and beliefs that limit you. Do it gently and often. Weeds steal nutrients. Clear the space before planting. Garden Rule 2. Plant what you can control. A gardener cannot command the weather, but they can choose seeds. Apply that to your life. Invest in gratitude, discipline, attention, acceptance, patience, clarity, and calm. These seeds grow regardless of external climate. Garden Rule 3. Water your mind daily. Clarity is not a gift. It's a practice. Marcus journaled, reflected, and examined his reactions not as a ritual of virtue signaling, but as a maintenance routine. A neglected garden becomes tangled. A tended one becomes sanctuary. Small daily acts, reflection, a quiet hour, a choice to step away from noise, are your watering can. Finally, consider the sparks. Picture a dry field. Each desire is a spark. One spark is harmless. A few sparks are manageable. But modern life throws sparks constantly. Comparison sparks, ambition sparks, romantic sparks, material sparks, validation sparks. Before long, the field is ablaze. Marcus observed, a man becomes unhappy when he seeks the wrong things. You don't suffer because you lack. You suffer because you want without measure. The more sparks you chase, the larger the fire you must run through. Often we are burned by hands we trained to strike. So stop chasing every spark. Choose which sparks matter. Want less, want better. Prune desires until the field is wet enough that a careless spark won't spread. When you feed fewer fires, the smoke clears and you can see again. Everything comes together now. The rope, the window, the garden, the fire. Life isn't complicated. Your knots are. Your window is dusty. Your garden is untended. Your desires are lighting fields. Marcus didn't live in a quiet world. He presided over war and disease, betrayal and duty. Yet he kept a mind that could meet chaos without being consumed. That is the skill, to hold a complicated life with a simple mind. He wrote, "Nowhere is man's retreat more peaceful than into his own soul." Meaning, the quiet place you seek isn't outside, it's inside. So here is the path. Loosen the rope, clean the window, tend the garden, calm the sparks. Do these things consistently, and two things happen. The pull loses its power, and the outer world stops feeling like a siege. You don't erase difficulty. Life will still send storms, but you change how you meet them. Your inner world becomes a place of practice rather than panic. Maybe then you'll understand what Marcus understood. Peace is not something the world gives you. It's something you see by how you look. Life was never inherently complicated. It was waiting for you to untangle it. This is the Mindloom path. Thank you for walking it with us.